Just want to thank the guys from the Viper Truck Club America, keeping the passion and the spirit alive.
Hi, Ralph.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Ron, we're in the Viper truck. So last time you made the Viper truck was in 2006. So it's been 6 years now. I think you're going to be coming out with another Dodge Ram SRT. Maybe not with the Viper, but...
Yeah, we're looking at something. The boss actually asked me about that because he saw one somewhere, I don't know wherever he saw an SRT 10 Ram, and he's like, who did that? He didn't know much about it, so I told him how rare that vehicle actually is, especially the two-door manuals, you know, extremely rare vehicle. So I don't know if we'll ever put the V10 in it, but we have another optional engine coming our way soon that may be the perfect answer, so stay tuned. You know?
We also have one that's actually building, we were saying about doing their own customizing their trucks.
Yeah.
We have one that was actually in drag week, and it was like 1,600 horsepower. Didn't make it. So he decided now he's going to build it up, he's going to almost double it.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to do it this year.
Yeah.
Race again. Will you come down and see the first race he runs?
Send me a note. We'll see. We'll try.
We'll do it. All right.
It's fascinating.
His name is Dom.
His name is Dom.
505
Dom
Slowest.
505 Slowest.
Slowest from New Mexico, and
So there's irony in his name.
That's it.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Full of good ideas.
Very long road trip.
5,000 miles total.
Actually, total was more. Yeah, from Detroit about 5,400.
Did you ship the cars out here? Or they
No, I drove it. They'll be here for a few days and we'll ship them back.
Oh, so you drove them all over the coast?
Yeah. Actually, I drove from Detroit to Key West and then here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Must have been one fun road trip.
Yeah, it was good. No better way to get to know a product.
Tell us when to go, Jay.
All right, we're recording, so go for it.
Okay, today's January 5th. Thank you so much for coming out, Ralph. You and I have met before, and I thought that a lot of the Viper Club members would love to know how you got your passion in cars, how you got to Chrysler, and of course how you got lucky enough to be on the SRT team.
You have an hour? Well, getting into cars, I grew up in Montreal, right? So Montreal is a very popular racing city, very enthusiastic because they have the Formula 1 race right downtown. So I was always kind of surrounded by that, but my family was really not into cars at all. My parents, you know, my father was a banker, like an accountant. So one day my dad came home and just gave me a model car. It was like a phone car, and I just said, what was that thing? And then I was watching a James Bond movie, and I saw the Lotus Esprit, and then I saw the Commodore movie with the 911s, and all of a sudden I started noticing cars. And that passion never left me. I started sketching them and just wanted to find out more about them. And, you know, long story short, when I was a kid, 14 years old, I wrote a letter to Chrysler, and they wrote me back. You know, my aunt used to watch the commercials, and Leah Coca said, if you could ever find a better car, buy it. You know, so somehow after school, I ended up back in Chrysler, and it feels like home to me. The Viper was the first show car that stopped me dead in my tracks. I saw it when I was halfway through school as a show car back in '89. When I saw it, I was like, what is that thing? You know, and to think Chrysler could do something like that was just out of this world. They had done a lot of show cars before, but never a production-worthy show car. So it was like a concept car for the street. And I worked there for a few years before I found the Viper team. I always like, one day I'm going to get to meet them. They were like gods to me. You know, Mr. Lutz, Herb Helbig, even Dick Winkles, which I'm good friends with now. These guys were like gods in the company because they were in their own little group, a special team. And over the years, kindred spirits find each other. The car guys tend to kind of settle in and attract each other. That's pretty much what happened.
And then how did you get into the racing side? Because I know you're a very accomplished driver.
I was just, you know, I used to get almost lost my license 3 times in a row. You know, I get speeding tickets left and right. And one time a friend at work said, hey, you should try autocross. Get all that energy out, you know. So I did that, and I loved it. And then I got bored of it because it was a little too quick. And then I started doing track days. And I really loved that. And then I started becoming an instructor for Audi and Volkswagen and Alfa Romeo track. And then those cars got a little bit boring, and I discovered the Viper, and I took it to the track. I blew my engine because I didn't understand oiling and all that stuff, so I started developing the cars as a track car, and then it got so much faster than anything I could handle, so I just sneaked up on it. I went to as many track days as I could. I started wheel-to-wheel racing with my Neon, spec Neon, and then I discovered the Viper Club and the Viper League, Viper Racing League. Incredible program. It's probably the best, and a lot of good racers have come from that program and graduated on to do private racing as well as even pro stuff. So,
well, a lot of us were lucky enough to see you in the finals. You ran with Tanner and all the other boys.
Yes,
in Pahrump.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
And that's what's great about the Viper people. They've all become very good. The car is one of those cars, if you keep working at it, it just gets faster with you. and to see the level at which the average Viper owner today running here at Willow Springs, they're fast. I mean, people are not hanging around in this car, and it has so much potential, and to see people able to extract that is very rewarding.
How many members or percentage of members of the VCA, people that own Vipers, actually end up tracking them versus just putting them in the garage?
That's a very good question. We have to research. It's very difficult to tabulate that. Just from walking around, I would say maybe 1/5 of the Viper Club members, which is probably about 500 people, maybe 500 people do it. ACRs, we sold 450 ACRs. We only were supposed to do 100 cars, and they were so popular that we sold that many. So it tells me there's either a desire out there for something more serious.
And of course, half of us are trying to make ACRs out of our normal.
So I think I should make a new one, right?
I think so. So tell us about the new Viper and why that's going to be even more fun to track. And
well, the new Viper is kind of a cauldron for everything that we've learned over the years in terms of lightweighting from our racing programs. We've raced in a variety of from the American Le Mans all the way to World Challenge. All that stuff is in the new, strengthening the carbon fiber. Even our knowledge of traction control. ALMS cars have traction control, very sophisticated system, which is what's in the car now. So the new car has a lot of potential, and it's a bit safer. It's a little more predictable. We've changed the geometry on the suspension, so I can't wait to dig into that thing and really get into it. Now that we have a live, it's the first time we actually launched a race car before the street car, so we really have data coming in real time on the limits of the chassis, because a race car is really Viper starts off as a Viper and gets built up to the LMS car. So there's a lot of great technology transfer there.
So when are we going to see the first Viper on the street?
Well, we're really picky these days. In the old days, we'd already be shipping them, but we're very stringent about quality and fit and finish. The body's been a nightmare for us. The carbon fiber is tricky to work with. It expands at a different rate. Metal springs back, carbon fiber does whatever it wants to do. So we're learning how to deal with it, because we're using a race car supplier, which isn't really used to the tolerances we're looking for. That with the metal frame. The metal frame, when you weld it, it's not something like stamped steel. So we're combining those things and trying to get the fit and finish to be show car worthy for every customer. But we're going to I hope to ship them in mid-February.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, Ralph, thanks so much for coming down and joining us in Southern California.
It's a pleasure, and I'm really jealous of you guys. I hate you in a way, because you have this incredible weather. Look at this. I mean, I know it's kind of chilly, but for us, this is heat. We like this. I'm in my t-shirt, and you're all bundled up. But it's beautiful country, and the laid-backness and the variety of owners is always blows my mind. How many different walks of life. Everyone here is successful in their own right, but they're all very human and very accessible people, and they love life. And I think that's what the Viper ownership is all about. When these cars sleep in their garages, you guys are still hanging out and being friends. And that's
there you go.
Thank you. Take care.
Could we get Dan Craig, the host, in there for a second? Oh, yeah. Dan?
Sure.
There's a lot of one of those. Oh, thank you. All right.
Good, you guys talk about something.
You know, it's funny. I've come full circle with this Viper stuff, but you know, I worked for Dodge, and I was at the show in 1989. I saw the first car, and it just became a lifestyle for me. You know, it's been a wild ride to see these cars from start to finish, and the things we've done with them. You know, we have Vipers with parachutes, and we've done stuff. I was a crew chief for the Mopar drift team, and we made a Viper slip instead of grip, and so it's just so neat to see this new car coming out and everything you guys are doing, and promoting it well, and coming out here to see us. You know?
We sit back. There's a lot that you guys do that we can't do. We just cannot do legally and federally and all that stuff. So we stand back and watch this incredible process where everybody kind of takes a car that we think is already one of the most customizable handmade cars in the world, and you guys take it another direction. You know, it's great, and the new car is really robust. You know, Dick over there created a fantastic bottom end with forged pistons, knowing exactly what's in your evil little minds. You know, so we're gonna enjoy watching this new generation of car become a very personal expression of people's, their will. It's interesting. It's very rewarding to watch. So we egg you on, but at the same time, be careful out there.
We will. We'll be careful. Yeah, and thank you.
All right. Take care. All the best.
Right. Very good. Did you come to our barbecue?
Yeah, why not? I'm starving. I want to say I'm impressed. I'm blown away by the constituents. Just the group here, how many people are here today, and how warm it has felt all day. The reception's been fantastic. Dick and I have been on an epic trip. We're very close now. I think we were singing songs together, holding hands. Especially in anyway, I'll tell you about the snowstorm in a minute. But I couldn't think of a better way to end an incredible week. Just to come. We had this in the back of our heads that this was going to be how it would end, and it really made it worthwhile. And it exceeded our expectations. The warmth, the reception, the fact that the whole spirit of the car, the reason we built this car is exactly for this reason right here. So it just really makes it all worthwhile. So thank you for that. A lot of kind words today about the new car. A lot of people haven't seen it physically touched it yet or seen it up close, and it really means a lot to us to hear it. We're not so cocky people. We're very self-critical, and they hear obviously people know what they're talking about, say I like or don't like the car. And a few criticisms here, we're all constructive. Everybody's very classy about it. That means a lot to me. So we really put a lot of effort into the new car, and we sweat it. And when I mean sweat, I mean literally terrified that our owners would not like it or not like it. Right? Because we build it for you guys. So if you don't like it, we're in big trouble. So it seems like you dig it so far. So the trip was a crazy idea because normally when we build new cars, we have what we call a fast feedback program. But the Viper is the only car that we can't afford to do that. We can't give executives cars because they tend to wreck them and stuff. So I figured I would take a trip and would start off being an innocent little trip because I always was going to come here today. I was going to fly out, see Jay Leno, and then hang out with you guys. But the driving part was not part of the equation. I said, what if I were to drive from Key West, which is where I ended up going on vacation, to here? Wow. And I called this guy and I said, how many dumbasses would come with me? And the funny thing is, Dick was in south of Tampa. He flew home and like the very next day flew back practically.
No,
2 days.
I drove home.
You drove home, that's right.
I was down there with my family, and then I flew back to Tampa. That's where he picked me up.
Yeah, and I basically drove from Key West and slept. Literally, as he landed at the airport, picked him up, and our journey began. And everything was great until we got to Texas. Was it last night? Thursday night. Yeah, and a storm. I didn't know they had storms in Texas. Yeah, we saw it coming. It turned out to be a blizzard, so we spent about 80 miles in about a half-inch of snow, and it was getting so bad we could not exit the freeway because they weren't plowed. So if we exited, we'd be done. So we just kept going. We followed trucks, and eventually they left the freeway. So I think by the time we got to where the freeway closed, for the last 3.5, maybe even more than that, 10 miles or so, we were the only car on the road.
Did you have traffic control?
There's plow trucks and police, and they're looking at us like, what the hell are you doing? With a pre-season tire GTS in the snow. So, and they did awesome. The new traction control system is great. And they shut down the freeway. We ended up staying with 400 other cars and people that were stranded. And we slept in a youth hostel. It was really humbling. My pain in the ass was used to 5-star hotels. I needed that. Anyway, we made it. It was fun. The car was flawless. It was absolutely flawless. 9,000 miles that car has on it now. It was just didn't miss a beat. We figured out a few little details, but long story short, I'm just happy to see the spirit of Vipers still here, and people like you are having a good time and hanging out so late on a Saturday. And I can see the grins on everybody's face. We definitely bonded and had a fantastic day. So thank you. And we do it. Without you, there is no us. That's what I believe. So thank you.
When is he on Jay Leno?
Jay, yeah, spent the morning with Jay. He's going to produce a show. I don't know if you've seen Jay Leno's garage.
Yeah. You know the date?
Over 500 million people see all over the world. It's becoming quite a big show. He drove the car for the first time. We bought him a New York Auto Show car about 6 months ago, but we wouldn't let him drive it. It wasn't really worthy of him driving yet. And he drove the new car. He loved it. He really likes the fact that we were able to keep the spirit of the old car, but kind of bring it up to speed and sort of finish things. He's all over it, so he's going to give it a thumbs up, and that'll help.
So they're doing a full garage video of his, of the new Viper and everything in the drive-over?
Yeah. He drove it. I was in the passenger seat. We walked around. Actually, Dick got to talk to him. And a little fact about Dick, I should tell you this to you. Dick is the last of the Mohicans. He's the only guy that's been on the program from day one. I'm talking back in, 89? Wow. From 89 to now, he's the only guy that's still on the program. Another little fact, when Jay Leno ordered #1, a 93, I believe it is, a 93 black smoothie hood, a Viper. It was the first black car we've ever built, and this man here delivered it to Jay Leno. and has a picture of him and Jay. So it was a great day today to, 20 years later plus, to be reunited, and Jay claims he remembers him, so it was a really cool moment, and you'll see him on TV as well, so it was a really, really special day for us.
Cool. I see so many familiar faces. A lot of you guys feel like family, and this Viper has been a journey for me, for years, and ever since, when I started for Dodge in '83, their idea of a performance car was a 4-cylinder turbo, and
that's it.
When they came out with the Viper, I wanted to be part of it. So it's been a lifestyle, and it's a car culture thing for all of us. We just enjoy it, and we live it, and it's part of our lives. Really enjoy it. I have a new venture now. I want to thank my partner Gary for making this happen for us all. I'd like to do this again for you, and I got to tell you, I asked Gary what exactly did he want out of this business, and he says, I want you to do the best work that you could possibly do, and so it's going to be great. Attention to detail, and you guys, we're going to take care of you. We want us to support you. I want to thank John. Known John, when did we go to the Viper plant? 93?
93, I've known Dan since 93, and there's no more capable person filled with integrity on the planet. We're so lucky out here. You're so lucky out here.
I also want to thank Ole from Scandinavian Coachcraft. He had to leave to help some people out, but when we were at the dealer, we'd sell the car on Friday and it'd be in Ole's body shop on Monday. And he was the first guy to put a frame underneath the Viper, and he does great work, and he understands the cars and how they go together. So if you have a problem, I wish you give him a call, and I think some of his business cards are here or in the bags. I want to thank you guys from Chrysler for coming out.
Everybody should give Dan a good round of applause.
Yeah.
Everybody drive safely tonight, and we really appreciate you coming out.
Okay, Dom, I hear you got a 9-second SRT 10 Ram. Can't you get into the 6s? I mean, come on, that's quite an accomplishment. But congratulations, man. I think it's pretty cool what you're doing.